Sorry, you'll hear a little bit of noise. Is that any better? That's about as good as I can get.
What do you guys think over there?
Okay, so guys, we're going to get started here. Thanks for taking time to meet me. I'm Vince Meza with Listings to Leads, and Janet and I have been speaking for a while about our platform. And let me ask you real quick, have any of you ever heard of Listings to Leads?
No.
No, we're hearing no's, Vince.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, you're about to hear some really interesting news then. We've been around almost 10 years, and we kind of self-started this company. My partner, Scott, was a realtor here in California and developed some really cool tools. And we just took that and just kept creating tools. And now you guys are going to have access to that. So we're an online advertising platform. I like to say one thing when I'm talking to people, especially if they don't know us. We don't sell leads. And there are a lot of companies out there that do sell leads. And that's not what we do. But our clients are generating hundreds of leads, sometimes every month and sometimes every week. And the only difference is, are they using the tools? So you will all get a login. You'll be able to log into Listings to Leads. I was kind of talking when I should have been showing you. When you get your ID and password, which should be later today, there's a little button up here. It says either My Account or Login. Use your login codes at the top right. Don't create a trial here because Janet is paying for it. And so everybody just gets free access. But the point of Listings to Leads is we have two major halves of our platform. One is automated marketing tools that are designed for you to use and to put out on the internet, put out on social media, use them via email, use our print flyers, all kinds of things. But everything that we have is designed to capture leads for you. So in the past, I mean, you guys have been in real estate, I'm sure, for a while. You've had e-flyers. You might have had single property websites. You might have had virtual tours. And for the most part, none of those things for most companies generate leads. They look good. If you're lucky, they might be mobile optimized, but in more than 50% of the time, they're not. And for us, everything is mobile optimized. And for us, everything that is created by us is designed to capture leads. So that's kind of, the short and sweet. Whatever you're using, if it's on the marketing side, and of course now my system is running super slow, but let's give it a second. We have a number of tools that are designed for marketing listings, and they are designed to capture leads at every stage. And so one thing that looks like we're finally moving. If you're looking at my screen now, you'll notice that I have a number of listings, and in the center column is a status. And one of the statuses is a pending, coming soon, just sold, active, just listed is a good status as well. So the thing about those statuses,
Yeah, it's hard for us to see it.
I think
Yeah,
maybe
it's
check
just
the
hard for
bottom
us to
right.
see. We're projecting it up on the screen, and if you could be very expressive with your mouse and point
Sure.
or circle the areas you're talking about, that would
Sure.
help for us to visualize what you're talking about.
Okay, so I'm on the listings page right now, and right here I'm talking about the status. This is a drop down, and you can update the status. You can change it to pending or under contract or just sold. I'm going to go here to this property, and I'm going to edit it really quickly, and I'm going to show you a couple of these tools. But I'm going to jump into the open house piece first. Does anybody here have an open house this weekend, or do you hold open houses?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So if your listing is in the system, you can click edit and then go to open house down here and just sort of pick the date. And I'm going to just set one for tomorrow. It says 1 to 4. I'm going to save. Usually when you save this takes a few seconds to save, and hopefully it doesn't take forever here. But what will happen is we'll give you a whole stack of tools in your email. And those tools will be, this is for Facebook, this is for your seller, this is for your e-marketing platform, this is for Craigslist, and then there'll be something like, here's a flyer for door knocking for the nearby neighbors. And then there's also a sign-in form. So a sign-in form, if you've got Wi-Fi at that open house and you got a laptop sitting there, you probably want to be able to say, hey, we'd love your feedback. And there's a form, just go right there and fill it out. So I'll show you those right now. So what we've done is we've saved the open house. I'm going to click on tasks, and these are all the tasks for the open house. It says open house marketing lead generation checklist. Okay. So since I jumped around and you kind of, maybe can't see everything, I'm going to go back to the listings page here, and you may be able to see that this house has a little green icon on it now. And that means that I've got an open house. So the point is once you've got the right status set, or in this case, an open house set, click on the task button and go through and start to go through the checklist. Right here, the first one, you click the green button and you're going to see a tool here. And let me know if you can see it. It's an open house. We call this a listing landing page. I'm going to click on the eyeball here and I'm going to expand it so we can see it completely. And this is a good example of some of the tools that we use for marketing our home. So a listing landing page, it gives just a little bit of information. Here's an open house. To get the price and details, you got to give me contact information. Does that make sense? Because it's an open house, it's a time sensitive deal. So we put something kind of, catching eyeballs right there on the left so that people are paying attention. And so when they fill this out, it would drop me on a single property website, and you, the agent, would get the information. Now, to get that tool out, very simply, all you have to do, I don't know if you can see it, there's some colorful buttons here, and these are all the major social media networks. So you can click Facebook, and it will push that tool. We'll give it a second, and you'll see what it looks like, right here to Facebook. And you can say, I want to share it on my timeline, or I want to share it on a page I manage, like my business page. Whatever you're going to do, write something great about this house, right? Why would somebody want to click on it? Great home, open this weekend. And then also, something like click for the date and time, right? I use the word for the date and time. Use the words click here for some reason, right? Get the opening, get the closing price, whatever you're doing. But then down here, you post to Facebook. And I definitely recommend, if there is just one thing you do with our tool system, it is to use listing landing pages as any status on Facebook. That's just, it works really, really well. Now, if you've got a network that you're growing on LinkedIn, you can click LinkedIn right here. And a lot of our clients who take this step are actually getting business. They're getting buyers and seller leads off of LinkedIn. Nobody ever thinks of it, but LinkedIn has been quietly building a kind of a social media platform where we've all been sort of connecting with people on a professional way and not knowing why. I get people connecting with me every day. But you can put that there, and if they click on it, they're actually going to get, I'll push this over to Facebook. They will see an ad, and they'll be able to click on it, and you'll be able to capture leads. So I'm going to post this to Facebook, and we'll go check that out in a little bit. But the other thing is, you can post to Twitter, you can post to Google+. We auto-upload to YouTube for you. So in the social media sphere, we can really get you covered if you take about, 3 minutes to post to these major social media platforms. And not only are you sharing there, but you're using a tool that can actually capture a lead for you. And that's kind of that's our story. All right, let's see here if I can get over to Facebook and show you what that looks like. I don't think it actually went there. So could be things are running slow. But that being said, you close it. You can check this little box here. It saves the date to remind you that you've done something. We also have things for social media for your seller. And this is very different from, I think, every company in real estate advertising. We want to help you capture leads. And our clients love capturing leads, but they also like referrals. And if you like referrals, I definitely recommend that you look at any time we say seller social media, that is the tool for you to be using. And so I'm going to grab that real quickly. And let's go over to my page and see what we got, if that other page kind of loaded up. Let's see here. Yeah, so this is what I put there just a minute ago, right? Great home, open this weekend, click for date and time, right? And it looks like that. It's got a big colorful banner on it. And if I click on it, I'm going to click on it now, it takes me to the actual landing page, all right? And for me to get the details, I got to give you my name and number, okay, or my name and email. And so that's the process. Now, what I did when I was kind of talking earlier about seller social media is I opened it up. We actually email this to you automatically. And this is one of the great tools that most realtors ignore. They don't know what in the world this is and they just don't want to use it. But when they start to figure it out, it really starts to help them out. So an email looks like this in your mailbox. All you got to do is copy what is between the red lines. You may not be able to see it, but it's at the bottom. And you give that to your homeowner, email it to them, and just say, hey, could you put that on your wall? And I'm going to put it on my wall right now so that you can see kind of what that looks like, right? So let's give it a second because it's fetching the photograph. Now it's the same home, right? But this time when we post it, give it a second to do its thing, there's a message and it says, we're having an open house on Saturday. Now you notice it's coming from me, Vincent Meza, but actually this should be coming from your homeowner. So this maybe doesn't make sense to you that it's from Vincent Meza and it's saying Vincent Meza at Lafayette Realty is holding our, doing a lot of marketing and holding our open house. So this would really be coming from the clients who you're selling homes for, and it would be talking about you and your office. And that's the point. I don't know what you guys do for referrals. I know a lot of realtors like to leave some nice cutlery behind, and they like to leave some, some business cards or a calendar. I have no idea what you're doing. But in our world, we want your name in front of your clients, friends and family and colleagues. And the number one place that they're communicating pictures of their kids and everything they eat and all kinds of other fun stuff is on Facebook. So if you can get your name in front of those people, and typically it's hundreds of people, a handful of times, well, they're going to start to recognize that you're a realtor. And that's kind of one of the small pieces of our open house platform. The other really cool things, you do get this all in one email, is print flyers for nearby homeowners. I'm still getting my first cup of coffee down, guys, so sorry if I'm stumbling here. This is all pre-written, and you'll notice that there's a link to go get more information on the house. There is the time. There is even a place for them to get their own free home value. So they can just type that in. And these two links are designed to go to your tools. So if somebody wants a home value, you're going to get that information. If somebody wants more information on that open house, you're going to get more information. But typically, when you're holding an open house in a neighborhood, other homeowners in that neighborhood want to know what's going on. So this tool, you can just download it here, or you can send it to yourself here and kind of print it and go on from there. As simple as that looks, our clients who use this get huge, huge results. I'm going to kind of segue. Well, I'll segue into our mastermind group in a minute. There's one other cool thing that I really like here, and that is the sign-in feedback form. Again, it's one of those tools that shows up in your mailbox. If you have Wi-Fi at that open house, you can use this, and this is a key, and somebody let us know in our mastermind group. Use the word feedback. When somebody comes in, just say, hey, we'd really like your feedback. There's a form right there online. And maybe because it's online that people like to click on things online, and they just have to give you a couple things. It presented well, notify me of the price. Here's my name. Are you using a broker, right? It's very simple, not a lot of questions. The person who walked through the open house gets a mobile optimized single property website, goes to their phone, and you get their lead, their contact information. So our clients who use our, you know, our open house marketing system, you know, they frequently come back with, you know, somewhere between 50 and 100 leads on 1 week from one open house. And that's whether it's your listing or if you're just sitting on a listing for somebody else because they're too busy to do an open house. All of these functions, you don't have to do all of these, especially at an open house, and you don't have to do them every time the status changes. Some of the things just sort of, they refresh on their own. But if you don't remember how to do this, and you know I'm kind of talking fast and moving fast, there's a little light bulb over here, and it says questions. And if you look here, there's about 15 things. And if you click on that light bulb, it opens up the support page for that particular page. And you'll notice that there are 17 things here. So if you want to know, like, what was Vince talking about on the sign-in feedback form, you can go down here, and this little graphic is telling you can open up this and go down to item number 12 and learn how to use the open house sign-in feedback form. It's actually
the open house sign-in form for during the open house.
Sorry. It's pretty simple, but again, if you need those instructions, they're kind of built in throughout the platform. So back on the listing side, and actually I am going to segue, I'm going to jump out of here real quick. I'm going to show you something that today I'm going to put this call together. I'm going to put it online, and I'm going to send it to Janan and I think Virginia, and I'm going to put a link in it to our mastermind group. And our mastermind group is a secret group on Facebook for our clients only. And the reason why I want you to be there is our clients are sharing what's going on. Now here's somebody here says, I boosted an ad 7 days, not one lead. Can you give me some advice? And so people are sort of asking. I can tell you the advice, it's just kind of a bad strategy what he's trying to do there. But also down here, you're going to see, hey, I've got other people saying we got hundreds of leads this weekend. And what's really great about this group is not only will people say, hey, I got a bunch of leads, but they will actually show you what they did to get those leads, right? And they'll say, hey, oh, and this is exactly it. This is Dustin Fox in July 30 says, this is the highest ROI for our recent business has been the neighborhood flyer. All right. So he takes the flyer that I just showed you and he puts it over, and this guy's down in Maryland. He's down kind of in the, I think like the outer Baltimore area. And he just mails them to the local people when he's doing an open house. And he's getting, I think he said he's got like, he just listed 6 properties in 4 months from a really simple letter that was already pre-written by us, and it is inside of your toolkit. All right. So the great thing about, I kind of segued over to the mastermind group. It's because people are sharing, they're saying, this is what I'm doing. This is what my stuff looks like. And this is the kind of return I'm getting. Right. And I think anytime somebody can tell you, I did one function, like I mailed 1 letter and I got 4 listings, that's probably worth knowing, right? It's maybe not reinventing the wheel yourself, but learning from our clients to see what you can do with this platform. So back to the listing side, there's the social media stuff I told you, and I said, well, the first thing you want to do is make sure you have your status right. This home here is sold, and usually the marketing becomes really effective, especially that seller social media on the sold side. So I'm going to go into the taskbar again, and I'm going to show you what that looks like on the seller side, because that tends to get real agents' attention. One thing.
Hey, Vince, I got a question for you. If you have a second, I don't want to interrupt. I'm sorry, but it's kind of important at this point. So for open house marketing, we have a lot of agents who will do open houses that are listed by other agents. Okay, if they don't have any listings of their own, or don't have anything they're holding open that weekend, they'll do it at another agent's listing. Does this enable that agent to go in and to kind of tag that listing that they're doing the open house there? Is there a way to do that?
Let me walk you through that real quick. Well, I'll get you part the way there.
Sure.
You go to, so that agent, so there's the listing agent and there's a showing agent, right? The showing
Right.
agent logs into their own account and they go to the listings page and they click on
Yep.
add listing, this green button. And then they click grab active listing. Now you'll need the zip code and the MLS ID and then click that button and it will pull everything in
good.
with the photos. Okay. And then once it's sitting in your account, like here, all they got to do is click edit.
Got it. Good. Okay.
Open house, and all those tools start to go out. All right. Okay.
Yep.
So back on the listings page, I wanted to show you one more thing on the internet marketing side for listings, and I wanted to show you the just sold. Now, when I showed you the open house and I said, here's how you click the buttons to get it over to Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter, I definitely, I kind of said, always use the listing landing page. But what I want you to understand is when a home is pending or just sold, I don't recommend you use this. I recommend you change this drop down to the single property website. And I'll show you why in just a second. We'll see it here. So our single property website, it is the same home. It's just a different way of displaying it. It has a lot of lead generation hooks in it. This get your home sold is going to pop out in 3 to 5 seconds. And that's going to say, hey, this home sold. We'll wait for it. It'll be up in a minute. But it's going to say, you can get the closing price, but this is also going to affect the value of your home. Get your instant free value here. So this kind of gets into what I was talking about. There are different kinds of leads to capture at different stages of a listing. If it's coming soon, you probably don't want to present, hey, get your home value. You might want to say, hey, click here to get, information as soon as it's listed, right? Or to schedule a showing soon. And then, of course, just listed has a different message. Open house, we were looking at open house, that has a different message. But this is sold. And for people who click on sold advertising, they're many times owning a home. And maybe they want to know their home value. One other really cool thing about listings to leads is we do something that we call lead generation links. And it shows up on your e-flyers. It shows up on a single property website like this. It shows up on the branded virtual tours. It shows up even in your signature. I'll show you the signature in a bit. But notice this home is in Groveport, Ohio. If you have a home for sale in Groveport, you probably, if somebody looks at this, will they want it or maybe they won't? I think, was it NAR used to say that 1 out of 400 people who sees your home for sale online wants that particular home. So 399 other people are clicking next. In our world, you can say, well, let's let them look at other Groveport homes. Maybe Groveport homes under 300K is the big price point where everybody is like interested in buying, where the homes just fly off the shelves. If that's the case, create that link in your system and point it to your property search page on your own website so you can capture a lead there. Right? So there's a little bit of, it's really copy and paste. You got to find the section and put it there. You can also have a link there for what is your home worth. So you can manage those links. You can customize them to fit your own business. You might be doing something unique in real estate, and you can just customize those there. But that's another kind of nice feature of listings to leads. So since this home is sold, I want to show you one more thing, and that is the seller social media for a sold home. Again, this tool is emailed to you as well as an e-flyer. You should open both of them, edit the message, and send it to your client, send both messages to your client, and just call them, even with a 5-second voicemail, and say, hey, it's Vince. I just sent you something for your Facebook. Would you put that on your wall? Just paste it on your Facebook, or, and then forward that e-flyer. We just want, we just want people to see that. We have an open house. And then I'm going to post this. We'll give it a second to grab the picture. And I want you to see what this looks like, because this is really just such an awesome pre-written testimonial. It says here, again, it's coming from you. It would be coming from your client saying, our home just sold and we want to recommend you at your office for doing an excellent job. Here is your name. Here's your number and your email address right there. Now, if anybody is remotely curious about that, because maybe they own a home, maybe they click on that picture. And then when they click on that picture, it drives to the single property website. And we were here a few seconds ago, so you may remember that in about 3 to 5 seconds, a landing page is going to pop up and it's going to say, would you like your home value? Right? So that's really our deal. If you're going to take an action in real estate, why not capture some leads, right? Realtors are pretty good at copying, pasting things on Facebook. I see it all the time. And most of those things are great. They have colors, but they have no lead capture. So for us, that's kind of a wasted effort. And we would just prefer our clients not to be wasting their efforts. So I'm going to slow down a second. Do you have any questions? I know I'm kind of going a little bit fast here.
Vince, it's Jen.
Yeah.
I'm posting these listings to Instagram where somebody wants some information so their cell phone can be captured. Can you go through that?
Sure. Yeah. So there's a couple things, and actually Instagram's been changing really fast, very recently. It's been changing a lot. I'm going to kind of step back a little bit or kind of go backwards and grab something here. Let's go back to that open house. And I want to talk a little bit. There are two ways to get to Instagram. And maybe possibly three, but that would be through your smartphone. And I actually don't know anything of how to do that. But that open house we had, I'm going to click tasks. And then I'm going to click share. And I'm going to click on your social media, meaning it's for your social media. Now, instead of sharing it to Facebook, I'm actually going to do something slightly different. I'm going to open it up and then I'm going to copy this link up here. Now, I actually heard something very recently. This is my personal page, but I'm going to go over to not our private secret group, but to our business page. And on our business page, this is what's really new for Facebook. If you post something there, because Facebook owns Instagram, they kind of want it over to Instagram. And in some, I think they're going to start charging for this. They actually do have a way to charge for it. But right now, let's see here what the problem is there. If I post this, share now, it's just going to automatically flow over to my Instagram page if I have Instagram connected. And it won't look exactly like this because Instagram has a different look. So if you want to know what it's going to look like, you can close this and go to the social media social share image. And this is where you can edit what the share image looks like. And then this is what it's going to look like, and we just saw it. But there's a little Instagram icon. You can click it here, and this shows you what it will look like on Instagram. Now, one thing it's not showing you is that on Instagram, right down here at the bottom of the picture, there's a long gray bar, and it says "Learn more." And what that allows you to do is that allows a consumer on their smartphone to click that "Learn more" button, and they would land right on this page. And this page is mobile optimized, so you can capture a lead there. Now, another way, and Jamin, I don't know if you signed up for the tech system, but there is.
We did.
You did. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So we give you a unique code for every listing, unlimited codes. As many listings as you have, you're going to have codes. For those codes stay with the agents. So when you go into your account, you might have 5 or 10 codes and you're sort of rotating them throughout properties. If you want to print them and put them on sign writers, great. I don't know if you can see the code that well there, but maybe you can see it underneath this clock. That's the code. So you text that short code there to that place there. And then you get the lead on your smartphone with the phone number, and you see the property they're looking for. The consumer gets the mobilized thing sent to their phone, and so they're getting the information they want. You're getting the contact information you want. I will tell you this. The fact that Janet is investing in text is really awesome for you. And if you don't know how to use that, I can tell you this. A lot of people know, well, not a lot, but consumers will respond to your text faster than an email and a phone call all day long. So if you're getting leads with text numbers, try texting them for a few days or a couple weeks until you can get that conversation going. All right? So definitely leverage our text messaging, especially since the office is paying for it. The other way is to, let's see here, you can copy the link, and we'll get into that in a second, but when you can actually run an ad on Facebook, and I am going to get there in a minute, and we'll kind of do that next. Okay, that's how you would get to Instagram. When you run an ad on Facebook, you can actually check a box, say I wanted to go to Instagram. Jana, did I miss anything? Was there something there you wanted me to say differently?
No, but Terry, you had a question, didn't you?
I know this is listings to leads, but if you sold a home to a buyer, would you be able to access that for the just sold page?
Yeah.
If it was for another realtor?
Yeah. So you're representing the buyer, and you want to market it as just sold, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you would go to listings. The thing about, there's a little bit of a nuance here. The short answer is yes, you can do that. Okay. And you would you would log into your own account, go to listings, and instead of grab, you would just go add. Now and that means you're manually creating it. Now we're not like the MLS with 100 data points. We just need like 5. What's the address? What's the price? And what are the photos? The thing about using grab, we cannot grab sold properties. So if you grab the listing before it is sold, well, then you could grab it and you could just sort of leave it in there and then change it to sold and market it. But if you don't and you want to just add it, you can add it manually and change it to sold and mark it just the way that I described. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okie doke. So I'm out here on the front. This is before you even log in now. And the reason why I want to bring you here is to share a little bit of places where you can gather information. The number one place to learn about how to use our platform is our mastermind group. The number two place, well, number two might actually be the tutorials, but down here in number 3, before you even log in, are some blog posts. And I really want you, so here's how to get 10 listings in 4 months. That's actually the agent who was using our, the nearby homeowner print flyer. This one on how to get 128 seller leads and 3 listing appointments. This came out of how to run an ad on Facebook with our landing pages. I'm actually going to show you how to do that next, but I just want you to see it because this language right here works all the time. We have tools that work really well, but you do want to take just a minute or two to think of some compelling reason why they should open it. And this language we train every time we do this call. The language is, hey, 80 homes sold in South Brunswick last month. The high was 700. Click here to get your instant home value, something like that. That pretty much is all you need to know. But if you forgot that, as I said it, you could click right here and get to this blog post and see exactly what they've written. There's even a detailed video here to help you. If we go back and we go to view all blog posts, you'll see that there are more articles like that. And that message of, and there are other ways of writing ads. I'm just telling you, that's kind of one that really works kind of all the time. So use the blog if you want to sort of figure out what's the best way to get seller leads. You can actually, whenever we have great results on seller leads, we definitely write about it, right? And so you can quickly get it down here. So all that's going to point to and tell you about the section in your account called landing pages. All right. And landing pages are kind of 1-page websites, 2-page websites. They're only designed to do one thing, and that is capture information. And we have a whole different, we have many different types of landing pages. You can see them here. We have Property Valuation Plus. That's the #1 landing page for capturing seller leads. We have Nearby Homes Sold. You can create a custom landing page. Maybe you're selling waterfront homes. Maybe you're selling horse properties. Maybe you've got first-time home buyer classes. But you can make custom pages for buyers or sellers. We've got landing pages for empty nesters, for growing families, for free list of foreclosures, all kinds of fun stuff, right? But the #1 landing page is actually Property Valuation Plus. And you can just get the landing page and put a picture in the background that looks like your area, and then take this and put it on Facebook and say, hey, I want everybody that lives in this town to see this, right? You could also get fancy and say, oh, I want to put a video on here. So here's one from Annapolis. And I had a drone video that I got from Annapolis and just snapped it on the back. Now, you can actually go into like various Facebook groups and just say, hey, does anybody have a drone video they could sell me? We bought a couple for $50, which is great, right? Because people shoot these videos and they don't know what to do with them. They'll give you a little, they'll give it to you if you give them a little cash, and then you can put it in the back of your page like this. Video is always great in any kind of marketing because we're all kind of ADD and things are moving, and I'm going to look at it for as long until it stops, right? But the way this page works, I want you to understand, because it's actually an important process. The #1 question on page 1 is, what is your address? And you can type in any residential address in the US and click get the value. At this point, are you guys okay over there? Hello?
Sorry, Vince, there's a little bit of background noise and it was muting you, but go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I heard that. Yeah, and that's why I didn't know if something fell apart. Okay, got it. So you can mute it, but what happens is you put in your address, and then we take you to page 2, which says, here's your house, and your report is ready for this address. For me to get the report, I have to give you my name and email. Or my email address, that's it, just my email address. And the reason why, I'm just thinking about selling, right? And then view the report. 80 to 90% of the people who get to this page would rather leave than give you a simple email address. That is just how it is, all right? So, and I'm going to answer the question that will be coming next. What if I want phone numbers? What if I want to require a phone number? Well, you can require a phone number, right? But 99% of people will leave instead of, 80 or 90. So we recommend that you don't do that. You just ask for the email address. You're going to get all the information that the consumer got, which is the value of the home, the home sold nearby, and you should respond immediately and just say, hey, did you like that review? Does that value seem right? Have you done anything to your bathrooms, any kitchen remodels, stuff like that? And start that dialogue, okay? Now, I don't know if you guys do have this, but I'm going to just kind of give you a little quick sell point. There's something up here called the partial lead converter. And that is the integration with a company called Cole Information, Cole Resource. And they are an online directory of homeowners. So when somebody gives you just the address and they walk away, we reach into Cole and deliver to you automatically via email the information that Cole has on that homeowner. Their name, their cell number, their home number, many times the last sale price. Somebody even told me they had the VIN numbers on the cars they own. So it just sort of depends on what they got, right? So that's a great page to use. And if you would, I'd like you to watch now. So I'm going to show you how to create it. All right. And you go to add new landing page. Property Valuation Plus is where I want you to start. Now, I can't exactly remember where I'm gonna where you guys are, but I'm gonna just type in Summit because I know Summit, New Jersey, because I set up a Coldwell Banker shop there a long time ago. And I'm gonna click Add, and you can do this because you have a lot of small towns just like Summit where you are. And I want to, and whenever I do this part of the training, I always talk about Coldwell Banker Summit, New Jersey, because there was a really there's a learning experience there for me and for them, and hopefully it is for you. When you click on a city, you type in the location, all you got to type in is the city name, and you click go, and then it brings you to this page, and we'll wait for this page to come up. Now, Scott and I did this a few years back. We put this generic page in here because we know something about realtors that you don't know, and is that they don't actually like to do a whole lot. They don't like to get in here and click things and copy and do stuff. So we said, let's make a generic picture. Everybody in the country has a cup of coffee and a computer, so this page should work, right? It's generic enough. But just so you know, this page looking like this has almost zero value. Nobody will click on this one because it's just not compelling for me to give you my address and contact information. So we drop you right here on this page where it says upload image on the left. And that's really all you got to do. Now, I'm not going to waste our time to go look for a bunch of images. I probably got one over here. Yeah, I'm just going to put this one in here. And when I click save, it's going to upload the picture in the background, right? And then we'll kind of move from there. But while that's baking, I want to take you to this little story about Summit, New Jersey. And that's a small town. It's like 25,000 people, right? So when I did this call, and 30 days later, the manager calls me and said, Vince, our agents are running all these ads. It's awesome. We're getting great results. He said, but the weird thing is the number one ad for seller lead generation is the landing page with this diner in the background. Now, this diner is whatever, 70 years old on Main Street in Summit, New Jersey. If you know Summit, if you know this place, you know Summit. And that's what I want to convey to you. A lot of people feel like when they're building that landing page, and for some reason it's taken forever to upload. Man, I gotta upgrade my speed on the. Sorry, I'm just talking to myself. You want a picture in the background that makes you think, that just makes you comfortable, that you know the area that you're talking about here, right? Because what you're asking is the first thing is the address, and I told you that's really simple for people to write it in. But the second thing is give me your email address. And if you don't know the area that they're talking about, or you just look like a big national spam campaign on Facebook, you're not going to get great results. A lot of realtors feel like I need to put a big multi-million-dollar house in the background. Well, if that's not the norm or the median in your market, that might not be the smartest thing to do. But here, I'm going to click on View, and it's going to take me to this landing page. And as long as you've got something like a picture of downtown, of your small town, or you've got a school, or you got a city hall, or you got something that's like a major landmark, that's going to work for you. Or you got one of the favorite restaurants in that town, right? All that being said, get that background picture and go for it. Now you are going to take this and put it on Facebook, because that's the number one way our clients are capturing listing leads. So you're going to copy that link. And let me ask before I go there, have all of you run ads on Facebook? Have any of you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Then I don't need to go too slow. There's a way to boost, and boosting is good. It's not as good as creating an ad like I am doing here, but it's pretty good for most things. But I want to go this route, creating an ad, because creating a seller ad, you know, if you guys know how to run ads, you might feel like I know how to do this. And if you recall, when I quickly went into our mastermind group, somebody said I ran an ad and I got like 0 results. A lot of agents know how to run ads and get zero results. They don't all know how to run these ads and get a lot of listing leads. So if you can kind of follow along here, I'm going to kind of show you exactly the right things to do and the common mistakes that agents make. As you probably know, there are a ton of gifted, bright gurus talking about Facebook advertising, and you may be watching their videos and you may be hearing all kinds of great ideas. And we go through all the ideas. We go through all this. The number one way to capture listing leads is to use the traffic. And if you're running ads with our tools, always use traffic. Now, there's a place for campaign name. Call it value. I'll call it Summit. But it would be the city and the date, right? And click continue. I'll give you the full-on strategy when we're done here. And if I forget, please tell me to boil that out for you and to tell you that, but I probably won't remember. On this page, this is where we set the audience. And we'll give it a second to get there. Things have changed on Facebook. You may have known that since all the kind of Russian election stuff. They had to pull what they were doing. So some things like homeowners are not available. It's okay. The world hasn't ended. Our clients are still getting huge leads. So here's what's going on. When I type in Summit, New Jersey, Facebook is really kind enough to say 25-mile radius. If I was doing an open house, or if I was doing just listed or just sold, I might want a radius maybe of 10 miles or 20 or maybe even 50 miles. But because my page only says Summit, I want to change it to Summit, New Jersey only. And it says everyone in this location. You want to say people who live in this location. That's kind of it for targeting. You probably don't want 18-year-olds looking at it, so choose your bottom, age. And you can also over here exclude realtors because this is pay-per-click. We're going to add the budget here in a minute. But whatever your budget is, every time somebody clicks on that ad, it chews off a little of your money. So if you don't want competitors clicking on your ads and wasting your money, exclude them. Now this is the number one place of mistakes that are happening. It's placements. You want to edit the placements. And the reason being is you don't want it going on mobile when you're trying to get seller leads. All right? Now I know you're probably all wondering like what? Because mobile is so big. When you are trying to capture home value seller leads, you do not want to start by using mobile. This page is mobile optimized. If you whip this page up on your smartphone, you will see it. It will work. But because the little form is jammed right up in your face, it's not as effective. It scares people basically, and they click on it and they leave. And so people come on our mastermind group and say, hey, I ran an ad and I put 30 bucks in it. I got a bunch of clicks, but I got no leads. What's happening? Try running it without mobile, and then all of a sudden you got a couple of dozen listing leads. Also, the right column. You don't need to run this ad on the right column. Over here on the right, that's the right column. When you run this ad, it's going to be right in the middle newsfeed. Earlier, Janet asked about Instagram. Because it's not mobile optimized, this will not go to Instagram. So you can test it and do it another way to get it to Instagram. But just know, again, you're playing the smartphone kind of deal there. Now, here's the big thing to think about. And this is something that a lot of agents don't know. Always change your budget to lifetime budget. Doesn't mean you're doing it for a lifetime. It just means that they're going to drop the money at the best time for you, meaning when the highest traffic is on Facebook. If you're one of those people that wonders, I wonder what the best time to run an ad on Facebook is, I don't know. But I do know that if you use the lifetime budget, because we've actually had discussions with Facebook about this, that they will drop it at the exact right time for you. So no, they will always try to, Facebook will always try to make you run a month-long ad. We don't recommend running an ad longer than 7 days. It just starts to drop off in return. But when you're running an ad for seller lead gen, a home value page, I recommend you start on Friday and you end on Monday, which is roughly 3 days. And you see I've got $30 here, right, on my ad. So one thing I want you to know, a seller ad, a click for a seller lead, typically costs around $1. It could be a little more or a little less. So if I run an ad for $30, I should expect to get somewhere from 25 to 35 leads by the end of the weekend, okay? If that starts working for you, and you're like, yeah, I did what Vince said, and I'm getting right around that number of leads. And if you want more seller leads, just up your budget. We have a lot of clients that spend $100 on one 4-day ad, and they get 100 listing leads. And they also are using, a lot of our clients use the text message stuff, and we have integration with this page for text, and they absolutely love it, because when you get 100 leads with phone numbers, that's a good day, especially if it costs you 100. That would cost you thousands of dollars with somebody like Zillow or something like that. So then go to the next page, choose your business page. My real estate one fell off, so I'm going to use my healthy eating one, Mino Likey Trans Fats. Use the single image ad. Carousel might make some sense to you, but we've been running ads for as long as Facebook is ad advertising, and carousel just seems like the biggest waste of money. Single video ads are actually really powerful, but you need to know how to get a video. So since if you're good at video, well, single video is great. But the simple one that works, single image ads. Now you go down here to where this little red flag is, and you paste in the link that you copied and click that button there. And then it starts to grab and do what's going on, right? We'll see it do its magic here in a second. And it says recent home values have affected your home value. Recent home sales have affected your home value. So it puts the picture there. It looks good, but this language is not good enough. If you run this ad, it may not work out well. So I'm going to click over here where it says, what is your summit home? And I'm going to change it to free summit home values. So when I type over here on the left, it changes underneath the photo on the right. And if you remember earlier, I said, hey, you could go to our blog and just sort of learn what those folks wrote on their ads to get 127 leads or whatever the number is. Well, I can tell you what it is. Now we know what we want to say on that ad to get it to be compelling. And right here where it says recent home sales have affected your value, maybe it's something like 30 homes sold in Summit last month, or whatever month, and the high was some big high number, right? 800K. And then this line here is really a great line that you should use anytime you are running a home value ad. Click here to get your automated home value in less than 15 seconds. Free. Now, that second line is totally loaded because automated home value means it's code for I don't have to talk to you. Free is awesome. Everybody loves free. And 15 seconds is great because nobody wants to wait for anything anymore. So people always click on that line. Now, the first one is also really important if you own a home because you want to kind of know what's going on. But other ways to write that ad, which I have seen, is they'll actually put a picture of a home that they recently sold. And they'll say something like, we got 10 offers on this, and we were in contract in 7 days. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys sell homes fast. That seems to be typically what's happening in the country right now. If you're selling something fast, it is well worth it for you to leverage that fact. If something went in contract in 7 days or 4 days or whatever it was, you might want to let the market know that. If it went above asking price, you might want to say that as well. And I even know agents that are saying this home sold for 10% above the Zillow estimate. Click here to get your automated home value free. Those kinds of things get people to click. Now, from here, just so you know, that's where you click confirm, and Facebook will give you a message saying, we're going to review this, and when we're done reviewing,
Hey, Vince?
make it live. Yes.
Vince, sorry to interrupt. We have another question.
What's the difference between
If you scroll down above.
I want to see up. Sorry, up. I want to see the top.
Oh, okay. You want to see? She wants to see the top of the screen.
It's right above where you have link text, where it says, what's the difference between your links for the website or Facebook event?
Okay. So a website, a link for a website is, we're driving. Remember, we started by driving. The objective of this ad is to drive traffic, and that means you're going to
Right to that landing page.
and you're going to drive it to a website. The website in this case is this website, our landing page.
Is that landing page for your home value, right?
Right.
A Facebook event is something else that you set up on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the other choice.
So maybe it's a first-time home buyer class, or maybe you got a big party at your office and you want everybody to come, and you could sort of create.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Or you're doing a broker open or something like that.
Yeah. So when you click confirm, Facebook will tell you we're going to review it. We'll make it live. They'll make it live in 15 minutes or so. And at the end of the week of the ad, it will be, you'll get a message from Facebook, and it says, congratulations, you succeeded in running an ad. And really what that means is you succeeded in giving money to Facebook. It doesn't mean you got a lot of leads. And the number one, the mistakes, there's only a handful of mistakes that you can make. One is you didn't get a good picture. Two is you didn't put any compelling language here. And three, and it's the number one mistake, is you ran it on the default placements, meaning it went on mobile and all these people saw it on mobile and they thought it was cool, but then when it opened up on their phone, they just freaked out and walked away. Does that all make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. So that's how you run a seller ad. That is this particular page here. We've probably got somewhere from 5 to 10 people sign up every day across the country to get this one page because the results are pretty outstanding. So I hope you create a handful of these. My guess is you are building your business not in one town, but in a number of towns. You should have this page for each one of those towns, and you should be using them, you know, just like I did just now on Facebook. That's the number one way to capture listing leads. Now, you can also do the, you know, the nearby homeowner letters and do all that stuff, and definitely do it. Dustin Fox there from Maryland is saying he gets a higher return from those nearby homeowner letters than this, but I would do it all. But let me just step back 1 second, because I know we just hit the hour mark. Our strategy for Facebook is not that you just lob home value landing pages up on Facebook. It's actually that you market on Facebook consistently. And if you're a realtor, and I talk to a lot of brand new realtors, or realtors with not a lot of listings, borrow a listing and market one listing every week for $20. Almost the exact same way I just ran that ad, except you want to have a radius. And when you're marketing a listing, you can market that on the default placements, meaning it would be on mobile also. And that's because you want thousands of people. If I run a $20 ad for 4 days during the week on a home that's just listed, or an open house, or maybe just sold, or even if it's not mine, somewhere from probably 3,000 to 5,000 people are going to see that. And if you think about that, I don't know where you can spend 20 bucks and have 3,000 people know that you're a realtor. If you know of a place like that, please let me know. So one ad once a week to say, hey, I'm a realtor. There's something for sale. There's an open house, even if you're borrowing it. And every weekend, run a $30 ad in that same area to say, now get your home value free. Gosh darn it. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. So that's really the strategy. If you're somebody with multiple listings, like, 5 to 10, you actually want to run a few ads every week on Facebook to market those listings. Just $20 ads. You'd run 3 or 4 ads for 20 bucks each. 10,000 people minimally are going to be seeing your name. Then when you lob out the home value pages, you're going to get really great results. Our clients, some of our longest clients, have been doing just what I described to you, and their phone literally rings out of the blue because people say, oh, I see you all over Facebook and I need to buy or sell something. And that's really what advertising is about. You don't want to be capturing thousands of emails. You'd much prefer if people just knew you were a realtor. And you can do that with Facebook pretty inexpensively. Not everything in our platform requires that you run an ad on Facebook. And I really encourage you to get into the platform and learn about those tools. I'm going to move real quickly to the profile because I want to show you a really cool piece in here. It's called the lead gen signature. Earlier, I talked about our lead gen links that could be pointing to your website. You can embed this in your email. So anytime you send an email, it's got lead capture in it. On the listings page, does anybody there capture reviews on Zillow? Yeah.
Yes.
On the listings page is a client review website. And on the client review website, it automatically has all your Zillow reviews. Okay, so I'm going to click on it here. Here are all my reviews right in the middle. On the right are all my properties. On the left are all my favorite lead generation links. So this is all about you and capturing leads for you. What do you do with this? When you get a new review, go to Facebook yourself and tag your client and say, hey, Scott, thanks for that review. And, sugarcoat it. Just say something nice about, how great it was to work with you and enjoy it and all that. And then it should actually, and I'm sorry, it doesn't seem to be doing it. Let's give it a second. It should be pulling a picture. Oh, it's trying to do it right now. So let's give it a second because it's actually the picture that makes it. It doesn't seem to be working. Sorry, guys. Let's see here. Lame. Sorry. There's actually this big, beautiful picture with blue with like a bunch of like spotlights, like Hollywood spotlights. So it stands out. And I think my browser is stuck or something like that. But basically, when you're tagging your client, it allows all of their friends to see that they just wrote a great review about you. And again, back to getting referrals, that's designed to help you do that. So everybody, that's kind of my story. It's not everything that we do, but I'm sure, you do got to spend a little bit of time to get into it and see everything that we do. But my recommendation, the trick to listings to leads is you can generate hundreds of leads a month or every week. The real trick is if you're using it. If you don't, it doesn't do a whole heck of a lot. It makes some cool tools, but then, they just sort of sit there. But boy, if you use these, we've got clients just absolutely loving this and have for years. And I hope you leverage it just like they do. Any questions?
Like walk us through how to.
Vince, is there live support to talk through this with some of our agents if they get stuck and they need some help? I mean, do you have people that can help them achieve success?
Yeah, well, there is a support page here, and my number one, if you have a question, I suggest you put it here because all 4 people in our support team watch that. Also, Scott watches it, so if the support team answers in the wrong way, he'll make sure you get the right answer. But you can also call. But if you want to talk to him, I recommend you put your question in and put your phone number in and say, please call me. Right. But yeah, we do have a support team. There are 4 people. Also, I really recommend on the homepage when you log in, we have 3 live training classes every week. And I recommend that you get on a few of those to get started.
You guys hear that? They do live training every week?
Yeah.
Okay.
3 times a week. And I recommend that you get on those because you're new to us, so you don't know what we're kind of doing. We generate new tools. I would almost every 2 weeks, if not every 30 days. There's something new to capture leads with. And you need to sort of be on our calls to find out about it or be in our mastermind group. We certainly get that there in the mastermind group. So that's kind of, that's kind of it. There's also some good stuff up here, getting started, Facebook advertising. Facebook advertising covers step-by-step what I just went through on how to do a landing page and how to run an ad. Our open house stuff is right here too. But we've got support people there anytime you need help. Or at least during the week. I don't think on the weekends they're working. Any other questions?
Any other questions? Do you have any other questions about the ads and things? We're good. Any other questions? All right.
So
sounds good. I think we don't have any other questions at this point.
Okay. Well,
am I correct?
What I will do, I'm going to get off this call.
Yeah.
I'm going to get off this call.
Next step.
I'm going to put this video up online, and I'm going to send it to you with instructions on how to join our mastermind group. So I definitely want you all to be in this mastermind group. And so that's number one, because you can learn a whole heck of a lot on how to use our platform. And a lot of our clients just ask questions here too, and everybody jumps in with the right answer. So I'll get that to you today.
Okay. All right, and you're also going to email login codes for our people?
I am. I'm going to actually, those should be coming out of the system shortly, automatically. They'll go directly to the agents.
Anybody else? Okay, and we're getting a link to the webinar, correct?
Sending a link to the webinar and also the invitation to join the mastermind group.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, yeah. Thanks so much, Vince. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Vince.
Okie dokie. Bye-bye.